they were just atrocious on special teams all year. And I've said my piece on that a lot. I simply am not going to blame coaching when you muff a punt or you muff a kickoff or you go offsides on a kickoff. I'm not even going to blame coaching when you have a block in the back or a holding. These things are obvious. I don't think every player on LSU's team and the 11 that they sent out there on special teams are unaware because of lack of coaching that you can't grab guys and hold them, that you can't hit guys in the back. They just do it. Things are moving fast. Players make big mistakes. And I think that LSU put some pretty sure-handed guys back there to catch kicks, and they dropped them. I don't think that's coaching at all. I think that's guys not doing a very good job. But when you look at it in totality, it is brutal. And I cannot let you off the hook when you've got 11 football players out there that don't know the rules. Especially when you've already had high-profile kicks blocked. And in this case, you got a kick blocked, and your team didn't know the rules. Now, there are plenty of guys on Georgia's team that didn't know the rules either. And you look at the offensive coordinator up there that was on TV that was telling his guys to get away from it, get away from it, get away from it. And I don't think that's because he didn't know the rules. I think that's because if you're a defensive player, a blocking team player, and the ball stays on your side of the line of scrimmage, the only way that the kicking team can get possession back is if you touch it. If you just leave it there, they can't. So there's merit in not touching it. But if there's nobody around you and you can pick it up and go, and the other team doesn't know the rules, then that's a good play. And LSU simply cannot have 11 guys out there that don't know the rules. That can't happen. That's not like muffing a punt. That's not like going offsides on a kickoff. And they got that kick blocked, and they almost got another one blocked by a fingernail on the one that Ramos actually made. That's unacceptable. You cannot have that. And you kicked the ball out of bounds 5 times this year. Only 3 teams in the nation kicked it out of bounds more. Only 12 teams out of 131 allowed more long punt returns of 20 yards or more than LSU. Only 12 teams allowed more. Only 11 of the 131 allowed more long kickoff returns of 40-plus yards. LSU did not have a kickoff return of 40 yards. For the entire season, LSU had 41 yards of punt return yardage. For the year. And they averaged 19.6 yards per punt return, which is not very good. I mean, it was just awful. From awful errors that they made that cost you a game, maybe games, but a game, to just routinely being bad at everything else. So it's very, very common. Fire the coach, fire the coach, fire the coach. Look, Brian Polian did a good job coaching special teams at Notre Dame. His unit was awful this past year. I can't tell you what he coached him at Notre Dame, and I can't tell you what he coached him at LSU. I'm not totally willing to blow it all off because LSU didn't have a ton of scholarships and didn't have as many guys as you would have that would devote more time to special teams. It's a reasonable opinion, but how many guys do you need that can figure out to play special teams? Go tackle somebody, block, kick, catch the ball. I think we can handle that with the guys they've got out there. And so that, to me, it was just a terrible effort all year. But Brian Polian's also the recruiting coordinator, and he's the first guy that Brian Kelly brought in. So there's a little bit more to this equation than that was atrocious effort, you're gone. He's got more hats to wear in that facility. Now, if you tell me he got shifted to be the tight ends coach or something and they brought in somebody else for special teams, I wouldn't bat an eye at that. But it's not as easy as walking down the hall like Jimbo did with his offensive coordinator and saying, hey, that was awful, you're gone. Brian Polian is a valued member of that staff to Brian Kelly, and I think was part of a pretty impressive effort in the transfer portal and in the recruiting class last year, and has been a very good football coach at this level at Notre Dame. So before we just fire the coach, there are a little bit more that goes into it than that. So I would not be shocked at all if Brian Polian was on this staff moving forward, and I think that'd be fine. They have got to do a better job on special teams.